Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Thursday, March 25, 2021. Fox report. Putin foe, Navalny bankroller opens up on opposition leader's potential future. Yevgeny Chichvarkin knows what it's like to be on the wrong side of Vladimir Putin. As a young man in Russia in those go-go 90s, he made a mint in the cell phone business and for that, he says, effectively got run out of the country. People from KGB, FSB now. They decide to control different parts of business and they want to have a share of success. Chichvarkin tells Fox News. He fled to London in 2008 and reinvented himself in equally spectacular fashion.
CNN report. Despite Brexit, Britons won't stop being European. The UK now has nearly 3 months of post-Brexit life under its belt. So, how has it celebrated this newfound freedom from its Brussels-based masters? Despite Boris Johnson's government taking to its new role as Europe's rowdy neighbour like a duck to water, claiming victory in the vaccine race as a consequence of Brexit and threatening to breach treaties it signed with Brussels, Britons are in no rush to transform their national identity.
Fox report. Minneapolis surfer rescues man and dog from Lake Superior. It's completely surreal. A Minneapolis man who was surfing the choppy waters of Lake Superior helped save a man who was struggling in the water while trying to rescue a dog. Darby Vokes, 26, was about to jump off the pier at Park Point in Duluth on Wednesday to catch one last wave when a woman in a wheelchair rolled up and said she needed help because her 29-year-old aide had gone into the water to rescue her dog. Vokes, who was in a wetsuit, dropped his surfboard and jumped in.
CNN report. GameStop, AMC and other meme stocks are memeing again. Meme stocks were back in business Thursday, as investors bought up shares of GameStop, boosting other Reddit favorite stocks along with it. GameStop, GME, soared nearly 53% Thursday, lifted by investors' hopes that a board overhaul could transform the video game store into a digital-first Amazon, AMZN competitor. The company announced Tuesday that former Amazon fulfillment chief Jenna Owens would take over as GameStop's chief operating officer.
Deutsche Welle report. Greece celebrates 200 years of independence. French and American leaders renewed allegiance to Greece on Thursday as it marked 200 years since a fractious partisan revolt begun in 1821 led a decade later to Greek independence. During Thursday's Athens flyover, security was tight, with 4,000 police deployed and spectators not allowed, aside from reporters. Nearly 400 years of Ottoman rule ceased in 1832 in what became Greece after European powers backed Greek partisans, including leader Theodoros Kolokotronis, culminating in treaties recognizing its statehood as a new Greek kingdom.
CNN report. Atlanta police detain man with 6 guns, body armor in grocery store. A man armed with a rifle entered an Atlanta public supermarket Wednesday in Midtown at Atlantic Station, a commercial and residential area in the city, police said. A witness saw the man entering the location openly carrying a rifle and entered the bathroom, and alerted the store management and then notified police. According to a preliminary investigation, officers immediately located and detained the man.
BBC report. Jessica Walter, arrested development star, dies aged 80. It is with a heavy heart that I confirm the passing of my beloved mom, Walter's daughter Brooke Bowman said. A working actor for over 6 decades, her greatest pleasure was bringing joy to others through her storytelling both on screen and off, Ms. Bowman said. Walter is best known for playing the icy matriarch in the Arrested Development TV sitcom in the 2000s. She also won an Emmy for starring as a detective in the police drama Amy Prentice in the 1970s.
Deutsche Welle report. COVID-19. BioNTech Pfizer vaccine to begin trials on children, infants. U.S. pharmaceutical giant Pfizer announced Thursday its joint vaccine with German company BioNTech SE would begin trials on children under 12 years old. The vaccine is currently authorized by U.S. regulators for ages 16 and older. Together with our partner BioNTech, we have announced a global study to further evaluate our COVID-19 vaccine in healthy children ages 6 months to 11 years, Pfizer CEO and Chairman Albert Bourla said in a tweet.
Al Jazeera report. Ethiopia's Tigray Men forced to rape family members, UN reports. More than 500 rape cases were reported to 5 clinics in Ethiopia's Tigray region, the United Nations said on Thursday. Warning, because of stigma and a lack of health services, the actual numbers were likely to be much higher. Women say they have been raped by armed actors. They also told stories of gang rape. Rape in front of family members and men being forced to rape their own family members under the threat of violence. Wafa said. Deputy UN aid coordinator in Ethiopia said in a briefing to UN member states in New York.
Fox report. Florida woman found naked in storm drain was missing for 3 weeks, got lost in tunnel during swim. The naked Florida woman who rescuers pulled out of a storm drain Tuesday had been missing for 3 weeks, according to local reports. Authorities said a passerby called 911 after hearing 43-year-old Lindsay Kennedy calling for help from within an 8-foot pit at about 9 a.m. in Delray Beach. Police and firefighters removed the cap, lowered a ladder and harness and pulled her to safety, while holding up a white sheet to protect the nude woman's privacy.
Fox report. Artificial intelligence savant and World War II hero Alan Turing honoured on UK's new £50 note. The rainbow flag is flying proudly Thursday above the Bank of England in the heart of London's financial district to commemorate World War II codebreaker Alan Turing, the new face of Britain's £50 note. The design of the banknote was unveiled before it is set to be formally issued to the public on June 23, Turing's birthday. The £50 note is the most valuable denomination in circulation but is little used during everyday transactions, especially during the coronavirus pandemic, as digital exchanges increasingly replaced the use of cash.
BBC report. Biden pressed on child migration at first news conference. More than 17,000 children are being kept in government-run detention centers, according to latest estimates. Over the hour-long event, he also spoke about topics ranging from guns, foreign policy and the U.S. COVID-19 response. But question about situation at the U.S.-Mexico border dominated the event. During the White House news conference, Mr. Biden blamed his predecessor Donald Trump for the growing humanitarian crisis on the southern border, and said it was normal for the U.S. to experience an influx of migrants in cooler months.
Al Jazeera report. Bitcoin selloff takes a bite out of cryptocurrency's biggest fund. Bitcoin's worst selloff since December is dealing a particularly harsh blow to the biggest fund tracking the cryptocurrency. The $29.4 billion Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, ticker GBTC, has dropped about 20% so far this week, nearly double the decline in the world's largest cryptocurrency. GBTC closed over 14% below the value of its underlying holdings on Wednesday as a result, a record discount, according to data compiled by Bloomberg.
CNN report. North Korea fires 2 ground-based ballistic missiles, South Korea says. North Korea launched 2 ballistic missiles Thursday, the second such launch in less than a week. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said in a statement that 2 short-range missiles had been fired from the Hamju area of South Hamgyong province toward the sea, off North Korea's east coast, at 6 minutes past 7 a.m. and 25 minutes past 7 a.m. local time. The projectiles flew about 450 kilometers, 280 miles, reaching an altitude of 60 kilometers, 37 miles, and are believed to have been ballistic missiles launched from the ground, the statement said.
BBC report. Renowned French film director Bertrand Tavernier dies. His most famous films include The Clockmaker, 1974, Round Midnight, 1986, and Life and Nothing But, 1989. He was born in Lyon under Nazi occupation in 1941, and his father René, a writer, was in the French Resistance. Tavernier headed the Institut Lumière, named after the brothers who invented cinema. His work spanned several genres from thrillers to historical dramas. Tavernier was also a screenwriter, actor and producer.
Al Jazeera report. U.S., UK slap sanctions on firms controlled by Myanmar's military. The United States and the United Kingdom imposed sanctions on conglomerates controlled by Myanmar's military on Thursday, following the Burmese general's February 1 coup and deadly crackdown, with Washington calling the move a response to abhorrent violence and abuses. The U.S. Department of the Treasury said its sanctions targeted Myanmar Economic Holdings Public Company Limited, MEL, and Myanmar Economic Corporation Limited, MEC.
Deutsche Welle report. COVID. Joe Biden doubles U.S. vaccination goal at press conference. For the first time, U.S. President Joe Biden is taking questions from the White House press corps, with a range of critical issues on the agenda including the pandemic, gun violence and rebuilding the U.S. economy. Watch the press conference live on DW. Biden started the press conference by announcing that his goal of vaccinating 100 million people within 100 days of taking office had been met ahead of schedule.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.